Hello.
Hi.
Okay, the live stream is working. Um, how's it going?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I don't think anyone's watching yet. Oh, one
So
watch.
it,
Is that
so
me?
when so it's live, like live, not just live and hidden. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I hope it all goes okay.
Oh,
Ah,
it will be, I'm sure.
yeah. Okay. Um. Okay. I need to mute Slack because for some reason, whenever I mute my computer, it doesn't mute Slack, and so I end up getting notifications. I know. So it mutes
That's
everything
new.
else except Slack.
Slack's really important.
It is very. Maybe I have something in my.
Need those work messages.
Yeah. It's like, nope, you can't switch off. Okay. So yeah, so we have in the end, I'm very pleased. Okay, there's two people watching now, so I'm gonna assume they're listening to us. And yeah, I guess I can start letting people in and just yeah.
Go for it.
I'm gonna start the recording as well, so that I don't forget. Oh, making a co-host. Hi, Ali. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, everything is fine on my end.
Perfect.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clear, very clear. So all good. Are you ready for your presentation?
We will see. I don't know. I don't know. Like 2-3 minute talk is a little bit hard because like it's been like 2 months. So like I want to talk about like a lot of stuff, but I cannot do that. So like I need to cut something. So we will see.
Well, just remember we do have a timer.
Yeah,
So
I know. That's why I'm a bit like anxious. But
sorry, it's just otherwise we'll run over massively. So because there's a lot of you presenting. There's about 18 presentations. So it has to be like done quickly.
yeah, and like it's better to be limited by the time. Like, but I am not sure if it's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes because in one email I saw three. Okay, it's two. Okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Sorry for the confusion.
Only problem is I am the first one to do the presentation. So
Yes, you are.
I should have used my second name just. So I shouldn't be the first guy.
And to be honest, I put them in the order that they
Yeah,
were.
I said, oh man. I should have
I didn't want to miss anyone. So I thought if I start mucking about with the order, I'm gonna forget someone. So
Of course, of course.
yeah. So have you found the program good? What has your
Like,
experience?
I am super happy. Like I was lucky my mentor and like my relationship was really nice. Like we are close in age, so it was more like a close friend. You know, like just showing the ropes, like just don't do that, do that. Like, we talk about politics, economics, we talk about programming, we talk about everything. Like it was like a really fun experience for me. Like I am really grateful. So
Well, I'm really happy to hear that.
yes, like and I think it's incredible because like just like I am coming from a non-programming background, so I am like learning everything in a way. But like let's say you just started coding something, you just started doing something, but you don't know you should use GitHub for the version check. You should know like separate these files so it will just do that. So it will be easier for the production. It will like there are so many small things that you don't even know how to Google that, you know, like so like that's why I think the mentorship, like even just like mentorship in general is great, but this kind of programming thing is really, really nice. Yeah.
It's
I'm
good to
very
get it right from the start. So you know the best practices at the start. It's so much harder to pick up later and be like, oh no, all those projects I should have version controlled.
Definitely,
I'm
definitely.
in that position.
There are so
So
many like small potholes that you can just went inside and you cannot go out, you know, like and like and just having a mentor just to say like before doing something, oh, I can ask about it, you know, like he probably has the answer, like, oh, what should I do about like between these two options. So I think even just for that it's great. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, I think to be honest, sometimes like you say, it's not like you can Google it because you don't know what you're Googling in the first place. So it's good
Definitely,
to
like,
know. You don't know what you don't know, basically.
just learning about the keywords sometimes like just takes let's say 2 hours for me and just 2 minutes for him, or like it's like it's so nice. I love it.
Hi Gina, how are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Not bad. Are you ready for your presentation today?
I'm a bit nervous. I can't believe it was 2 minutes, but yeah, I should be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be. Gina just had her Viva a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sure this will be much easier.
Yeah, I hope
Congrats,
so.
by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Just wait for more people to join in. And then we can start. Is anyone watching your talk, or is it just yourself?
Oh, I hope not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. No, like my friend and my girlfriend, like they know about the graduation ceremony and stuff, but I didn't say them to like, oh, there's a link that you can watch. No.
Fair enough. How about you, Gina? Did you tell anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah?
just yeah, which is a bit brave. And my mentor is here, Rafila. So we'll see.
My mentor is busy also, so
Good for you.
I am super fine. Like nobody knows me.
Okay, we have more people joining. Hello, everyone. Hello. Do you want to test your microphones just to make sure that it's working for before your presentation? You can just say, well, Mikiara's is working. So
Yeah.
Nicole, do you want to unmute yourself just to make sure that your microphone is
Sure. Hiya. Can you hear me? Cool.
good? Awesome. We'll just give people a couple of minutes to join. We're still 2 minutes before 12, and then we'll kick off with a bit of an introduction to how the session will run, some practicalities as usual, and then yeah, we'll kick off with the lightning talks. I hope no one is too nervous. You're going to do great. Just a couple of minutes of suffering and then that's it. Are you feeling confident about it? Sorry, Ali, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Like I was just curious, like how long does this program like going for? Like it's like, is it like second year, third year? I think it was something like that.
So this is sort of its third year,
Okay.
but it's the first time we've run it this way. So we haven't done any previous graduations.
Oh,
But,
okay.
this is the first year that we've done it a little bit more formal in terms of the sessions. You may have noticed that we have a lot of things to tighten up, but yeah, it's basically the first time we're running it properly. But we did run one last year and another one the year before. Yeah, it's been we've seen that it's been helpful, and the feedback that we've got says that people really like it. So we've tried to formalize it a little bit more and make it a thing.
That's good. But do you need like a lot of people to run this kind of program? I know you are really taking an active role, but I think there's like 2-3 other people.
Yeah, so Lucy and Gina, who is also a mentee, are both helping me run it. And because it's part of the whole research software camps, there's a lot of stuff to do for the research software camps too. So I think in future years, the Software Sustainability Institute will look into getting a proper community manager. Because I'm not really a community manager, I'm more a communications person, but I've ended up, the first time I ran it, it was really good and no one else can run it. So yeah, I'm kind of acting up as community manager a little bit.
That's good.
Great. It's really
yeah.
But yeah, it's just I think if someone were to take it beyond, I think it needs to be someone who can dedicate it a lot more time than I can. Because I think it's good, and I think it can flourish even more, it can improve even more. Perfect. Lots of people are joining. And we seem to have 6 people watching the live stream, so I'm going to say hello to them as well. If you want to send us a message, you can do so on the live stream chat. We will have a look at it as well. Okay. I think perhaps I will start. So I'm going to share my screen first. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. So can anyone see that? Can you just give me a thumbs up? Cool, thank you. So welcome to the graduation of the Mentorship Program 2023. As you all know, it ran from the 24th of April to the 26th of June. And I'm really happy to have you all here. I'm just going to go through some introductory slides, mainly to do with housekeeping, and then we'll get on with the lightning talks. We'll stop in the middle for a brief Q&A session in case anyone has any questions. And then we'll move on to the second set of lightning talks. After that, we'll close the session. There will be some closing remarks, and I'll explain what happens next. So welcome, everyone. Just as usual, if you experience any problems, please put a note into the chat, into the Zoom chat, and we will do our best to help. If you're joining us live stream and you want to comment on anything, or you have a question, please put a note in the live stream chat on YouTube. Also, we will have a brief Q&A halfway through lightning talks and at the end of the second session. So you can ask questions there too, but it'll be a very brief one, like maximum 5 minutes. So if it's a longer question, you can either put it on the Zoom chat or you can reserve it for Slack, where you can contact pretty much everyone. Just to remind you that this session is being live streamed and recorded, and we're going to share the recording afterwards and then delete the live stream. So the recording will be slightly edited to chop off the bits where we're just talking about not very many things and share it with people. And as usual, you can connect with us on Twitter @SoftwareSaved or follow us on LinkedIn. And just a reminder not to share the link for the Zoom meeting. If you want anyone to see your lightning talk, then please share the live stream link that we've sent through in the Mentorship Slack channel and via email. Okay, so now I hope everyone that is in the first session is here. The way this is going to work is I'm going to call your name, and as soon as your slide comes in, you have 2 minutes to talk. After those 2 minutes, I will pass on to the next slide. I have to be a little bit ruthless, otherwise we won't have time. So apologies if you get cut off at the end of your sentence. The other thing to know is that you have a timer at some point, at any point in your slide. Most of you have a timer at the top, but I may have had to place it elsewhere in your slide, so just keep an eye on that. And here we go. Ali Tarek Karbos.
Hello, everyone. I think I'm gonna talk about a bit of my background first, because with the all software programming camp and everything, I just started my PhD as well. So like I'm in 2 months progress with like both PhD and the mentorship program. So it was really eye-opening for me because I had a mentor that can hold my hand through the process of like learning the software and learning the programming. So what we have done, I'm just gonna talk about in general because it was kind of related to my project. It was based on machine learning procedures that uses a generative machine learning program to create some layouts, string layouts based on like a chemical processes. So we had some, you can see at the top of the screen, like there's some limitations. There are some alphabet basically for the layouts to create the layouts. They represent units like turbine, cooler, heater, that kind of stuff. So we just used a simple script to create them randomly. Then if we use NumPy and like PyTorch and like just VS Code in general to do everything related to that, to process the creation of strings, to the filtering them and creating a data set for the machine learning process to take. Then we use the PyTorch, and you can see some example strings on the left-hand side. You can see a little bit of coding everywhere just to show that we have done something. But it was really fun, and it was really challenging at first because I had no programming background before. But with the mentorship program and with just having a mentor by your side, and it's been like such a pleasure for me. And at the end, we were able to produce the first step of my PhD program. And so I'm really happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll do a round of applause at the end. So Bernard Kwamesalotzi.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so my name is Bernard. I just finished my undergraduate degree from the University of Health and Life Sciences in Ho, Ghana, and I'm currently doing my national service at the Tema General Hospital here. So my mentor for the program was Hussein Rafipo, who's a PhD candidate, a final year, and then he's currently studying at the University of Oxford. So with my goal for joining the program, like before the program, it was a bit broad, but then with the help of my mentor, we're able to narrow it down to being able to perform data analysis with using Python, and then particularly bioinformatics analysis, because I look forward to like pursuing further studies in bioinformatics. Then so far the progress we've made is that my mentor suggested I take the Python and pandas and also the introduction to machine learning courses on Kaggle. So I've completed the Python and I took the first two modules of the pandas and also the first three modules of machine learning as he suggested. And then also he asked me to select a data set on Kaggle, which I did, and then it was on transcriptomics in yeast. But then due to his current state, he's currently busy because he's in his final year, so we're not able to have adequate meetings. So we are still working on asking some questions with the data set, and then we try to do some analysis using the skills I've gained through taking the courses. So my next steps then will be to have continuous mentorship, because he has assured me, even if I'm interested, we'll keep up with the mentorship meetings. Then also I'll keep on learning to improve my Python skills and data analysis. So I want to say a big congratulations to everyone for graduating today. And also these are the ways anybody can contact me for any reason at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Next one is Caroline Harbinson. Are you here?
I'm here.
Perfect.
So I am a research assistant at Oxford University, and most of my job really is collecting data and recruiting participants, but I don't ever really get the opportunity to get my hands dirty and do the actual analysis itself. So my goal of doing this was to essentially take data from a project I'd been involved with and be able to analyze myself through Python. But I wanted to do it in the best way possible, so using good coding practice and learning how to do version control, learning how to collaborate. So what we first started off with is Nick taught me the basics of GitHub, how to install GitHub on my computer, how to work from the main branch, create my own branch as well, and being able to commit my changes and push them up to the main branch. Then second, I had a little bit of experience in PyCharm, but Nick didn't. So instead I moved over to VS Code just so he could guide me through using it then. So I learned how to set up and use VS Code. I learned how to debug. I learned how to create a virtual environment with lots of different Python packages and having that amalgamated into my VS Code. And then from there, I downloaded the data from this project I'm an author on, but unfortunately they're all done in MATLAB and all in mat files, and that ended up being a bit of a blocker. And I was very stubborn and was trying to work it all out in Python, but in the end, after weeks of trying to get it all sorted in different formats, I just gave in and converted it all to CSV from within MATLAB and put it into Python. So that's the stage I'm at. I've run some very basic descriptives on it, and then I'm hoping now that I have everything sorted that I'll be able to start doing a bit more data science and running GLMs and that sort of thing.
Great, thank you so much, Caroline. Next one is Georgia. Are you here?
Hiya. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm Georgia and my mentor was James. We began our initial discussion just thinking about what were the sort of things that it would make sense to do within the time frame, given the research that I'm already doing. And I work on GitHub in a very open way, it's open source as well, with a team of developers on a project called OpSpaces. So we planned out a series of different activities that would help me to improve my GitHub skills, as well as my knowledge of CSS and HTML, in a way that then I could be more supportive in terms of reviewing pull requests and working collaboratively. So I did some different courses and tutorials on W3 schools, which was brilliant because you can try things out and see how it goes. And also decided to build a practice website to test out my use of those skills using Quarto and GitHub. So I created one on sensory processing because that's an area I know a little bit about from my research. One of our first big kind of wins was managing to set up auth spaces locally on my computer. This sounds like a simple task, but it turned out to be actually pretty complex. And actually the development team I work with normally came and joined a meeting, and we were all working together to get it done. And when it finally happened, it was like a really resoundingly happy celebratory moment. So I appreciated that a lot. I think one of the main things that I really appreciate about James's mentorship was supporting me to grow my ability with the not just tools and skills, but also strategies and abilities to solve problems and find solutions to things, and use creativity. So use coding skills to work creatively and to do new things. So I've got a lot out of it. In particular, I have now more confidence and inspiration to continue developing those skills and do more projects. So it's been really brilliant. Thanks, SSI and James.
Thank you very much, Georgia. The next one is Georgina Pegu.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me? So, hello, my name is Georgina Pegu, and I joined the mentorship program to work on my Python skills. And so to do this, my mentor, Rafila, and I decided that we'll do a web scraping project, so which will allow me to work a lot with strings and also do a lot of data visualization and plotting. And so to do this, first of all, we decided on using the agricultural price indexes or index from the UK government website, because they also allow, it's legal for us to scrape their website. And I chose something related to agriculture because that's my background, and I'm really interested in the insights that can be gotten from there. Now, to scrape this website, I use this library in Python called Beautiful Soup. And then I also used, as you can see, I used another library called the Word Cloud, which allowed me to actually make a word cloud, and also use the matplotlib and then in the pyplot to actually after extracting the tables from the website, plot these tables or replot these tables using a bar graph. Now I want to talk a bit about my experience. It wasn't really easy because I was also preparing for my Viva, but my mentor was really fantastic and very patient. And at the end of the day, I'm very excited with the Python skills that I learned, and I look forward to improving on that or building on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gina. We have Gloria. Is Gloria here?
Yes, hi, I'm here. My name is Gloria. I'm social science research at the School of Architecture at the University of Reading, and my mentor is Michael also from CEH. My research is on social value and analyzing where social value happens in housing. So one of the challenges for my research is to visualize qualitative data, in this case, social value data, in a 3D building model, in the same way that we can visualize technical data during the design process of a building. So my goal in the software camp was to explore software to find a pathway to analyze and visualize my data. And during the mentorship program, I improve a lot my knowledge in NVivo and learn more about building information modeling in specific Revit and Dynamo. But well, the main software I use to analyze qualitative data is NVivo, because I can also enter data and do the commands manually. But I also discovered this software called InfraNodus, that is an artificial intelligence software for visual text analysis from multiple sources. So I can import multiple files. This software helped me to visualize my data from a different perspective, and I can double check and compare results that I have done in NVivo. So you can see here the graph on the top left shows my data in en vivo. This is a thematic analysis, but however, the more data that I add from different sources, the more difficult the visualization becomes. So you using infra nodules help me to overview the data and interactions when the things get more complex. And I can visualize it in color, and I can click and explore different points. So the software camp and my mentor really motivate me to explore new software and reduce my fears, since learning a new software like Python is a big deal for me, and sometimes it's scary, but now I feel more motivated and looking forward to learn Python. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Next, we've got Guan Yuzo.
Hi. Hello. Oh, okay. Hi everyone. I'm Guan from the University of Manchester, and I am a first year PhD student majored in polymer material. My mentor is Dr. Alexander. I'm super excited to be here today and share my Python learning journey with you all. To make my learning adventure more structured, we created a step-by-step plan as shown here. It covered almost everything I need to know as a beginner, starting from the basic and gradually moving towards more adventure topic. And as you can see from my page, I built up my GitHub and shared my practice progress, and also try to design some simple games and visualize some data in Python. Throughout those 10 weeks, I have the fantastic support from my mentor. He answered my questions, provided feedback, and shared his valuable insights. This is exactly what I want to learn in this project. I really appreciate this mentorship. Oh, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guan Yu. We've got next Jenny Long.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So my name is Jenny, and my mentee is Tom Rosso, which helped me a lot throughout this process and throughout this project. So first, he actually introduced me to a lot of different platforms where I can find the data sets that I want to look into, and one of which is a metadata from the Tate Gallery, which consists of over 3,500 artists. And then we began to kind of work on that. So because I've had experience with Jupyter Notebook before, and so I used VS Code. However, he introduced me to the pull and pull request, etc., to GitHub, and then we created a repository together. So that's something new I've learned. And throughout the process of me trying to analyze the data, he also introduced me some new new things such as Folium and GeoJSON. And so in the end, I have managed to outcome interactive map, which visualizes the geolocation of the artist. And this is actually an older version of my PowerPoint. I have uploaded a new version like the day before, so I think that's why it's not on it. So the latest version, which I've included my link on it, and that's where you could actually click in and interact with the map. And also as you can see, the frequency, the city, longitude and latitude here has also been updated. So in the latest version, you would see the gender as well of the male, female, and unknown. So that's kind of like the progress, and he has really helped me a lot, and I really thank this program, and I hope to take this further. And thanks, guys. That's all.
Thank you very much, Jenny. And this is the last slide for this first part. Antonia, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. So is the timer on?
Yes, in fact, I'll repeat it, but yes, the timer is on.
Okay, so my project, the goal was to automate an enzyme discovery pipeline, and I wanted to focus on using Python to do it, and so it's built upon a process which we'd kind of already were using in our group. So that uses sequence searching with an input query of an enzyme that you're interested in, and then you then model those sequences in AlphaFold, and then you search the structures for structural similarity to the structure of your query, and then you can apply some filters. So the original process is, as you can see, there were quite a few like inputs, quite a few manual steps and mixes of kind of different command line. And it's quite messy really, with lots of movement, risk of human error. And then that kind of minimizes the throughput of it. And so my mentor is Sebastian, and Sebastian has been the best. He's been super patient, super helpful. And so Sebastian and I have been working to automate these processes and write it all up in Python really. And so where we are now is we have about 3 or 4 scripts, and there's a lot less manual inputs, and files are automatically saved to output places for the next consequential script to use in the step. There's a lot of, once we have this kind of skeleton going, there's a lot of opportunity to modify it and improve it even further. So obviously you can improve the automation yet more, maybe like using argument specification in the scripts. More advanced search tools are possible too. So I'm currently working with another researcher, like looking at kind of structural similarity tools and ways to incorporate them. And potentially this could be a useful tool in R&D or scientific research. So with enzymes, you can search and find plenty of candidates, but making them in the lab is quite time and resource demanding. And so that's hopefully what this tool can do, is reduce the number of interesting candidates to look at in the lab. I just want to say, when I started, I had really poor Python skills, and now I'm super confident, particularly with BioPython. So for example, I was just using my script this morning to write a new script, and I've just pulled off 30,000 sequences of NCBI. So like it's progressing quite quickly now. And Linux, again, I was a bit shaky, but and so QR code to my current process. And yeah, thank you very much. And there's really some really important lessons there at the bottom. But yeah, Sebastian's the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're just making a brief break just now from all of the lightning talks, and I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So I want first to ask everyone to give a virtual applause to all of the presenters so far. So you can either do that with your hands or use your reactions buffs. There we go. Well done, everyone, so far. So are there any questions for the presenters so far? You can write them in the chat. We'll just take a few minutes. Or you can unmute yourself as well, whatever is easier.
Just want to say, if anyone needs help with NCBI entry modules and stuff, I'm happy to help, like pulling sequences off now. And because I've had to, and as well, like if you have loads of requests you need to make, like generating an API key so that you can do that and stuff. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Everyone's good? Perfect. In that case, let's continue. And if anyone has any questions later on, then we can get to them. So the next set of lightning talks, we start with Josh Ashley. So can you put yourself? Yeah, perfect. Oh, I'm not actually moving the slides. Sorry. Okay, there you go.
Okay, hi everyone, my name's Josh, and I realise I've been far too ambitious with this talk, but I'm at the University of Manchester and I'm studying plasma-facing materials for fusion components, and I had no prior experience of coding prior to starting the course. Over Christmas, I was in Japan doing some in situ TEM irradiation, which meant I started off with a pristine material, which then became full of bubbles essentially. And my data set consisted of around 40,000 images per sample, which is obviously far too big for it to be manually analyzable. So my aims for the project was to get to grips with the fundamentals of a new programming language, because, as I say, I didn't really have any background, and then to produce scripts that would allow me to analyze my data and plot it in a way that was publishable, potentially also archiving my work in such a way that other people in my research group could use the scripts for themselves as well. Fundamentals, well, I used learnpython.org, which is a really good online resource, and then began to trial my scripts in Jupyter. I then moved on to using VS Code, which obviously has the inbuilt Git functionality and everyone's favorite AI help, Copilot. The results I was really pleased with. So I've been able to plot kind of 50,000 data points fairly reliably, and also do some kind of post-data analysis like low-pass filtering to reduce the noisiness of my data. I've also been working on a way of analyzing my images directly within Python rather than using some off-the-shelf software, which allows me to have a bit more kind of fine-grained control of the analysis process. So fundamentally, I feel like I've got past the basics of programming. I feel like I know where to go to ask for help now, which I didn't to begin with, and I think is one of the big stumbling blocks for people just starting out. And I'm very grateful to the course organizers and, of course, to my supervisor, Dr. Manuel Lira Ramirez, for all their help during the course. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And next we have Lucy. Can you unmute yourself, please? See whether you're here and whether I can.
Hi.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you. So I'm a PhD student in neuroscience at the University of Oxford, and my PhD looks at how sleep and dementia are related. So to assess sleep, we stick electrodes onto somebody's brain and get a nice output of all the different sleep frequencies. And then what I was doing on the program was using packages to then extract different metrics from the sleep recording. So we started off just going through the basics of coding in terms of how you name your files, the environment that you manage them in, and then choosing an appropriate language. So we use Python, and Python is commonly used in two packages that are then used to extract sleep metrics, so M&E and YASA. So what we did with my supervisor, Shan, from the University of Queensland, is extract data from two participants on publicly available platforms to then produce an output of their sleep stages. So there's lots of different stages of sleep that you go through. And then we also produced these hypnograms that again help to visualize the stages that people are in. And I've not shown it here, but you also get then statistics that you can use for statistical analysis later. And then using the YASA program, we were then able to extract different frequencies from the data to then tell different stages of sleep that people are in. So here on the right-hand side is a sleep spindle from one of the participants. And what you can do is then compare the amplitude and duration and frequency of these spindles across aging and different clinical populations. And I've had a really good time on the program, and I came into this with really no coding experience at all, so it's been very useful, and I feel a lot more confident now going into this further in my PhD, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Next up we have me here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Mihir and I'm a first year PhD student at University of Manchester. So through this mentorship program, I tried to have a look at Bayesian data analysis or Bayesian workflow. So Bayesian data analysis is mainly done to quantify uncertainty. So if you compare Bayesian linear regression with normal linear regression, with normal linear regression, you can just do point estimates, but with Bayesian linear regression, you can make probabilistic predictions and using distributions. So here is the typical workflow, a Bayesian workflow. So you can define your prior, which is your assumption of how distribution will look like. You can make some prior predictive plots. You can also define likelihood, and by defining prior and likelihood, you can define a Bayesian model. All of this is done in using Turing library in Julia, which makes it a lot easier. Then you can sample your model, do diagnostic checks, and make after fitting the model, you can make probabilistic predictions. So I just want to say this is a really big topic. I've only managed to scratch the surface, I would say. Still need to read a lot. But at the end, I just want to say thank you to my mentor, Dominic, and SSI for presenting me with this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Nicole.
Yeah. So I'm Nicole, and I think first things first that I need to say thank you to the organizers of this program. It really has been very beneficial. So Chan and I, who was my mentor, we worked on a specific project linked to my PhD, which is looking at analyzing and isolating blood glucose events from time series data. And while that was extremely beneficial and helpful in getting me over the line on a specific project, what I found more beneficial was the general code skills that we discussed, the workflow, the use of functions, the use of modules. When I first started, I had a Jupyter notebook that was, I don't even know how many lines long. And we've been able to whittle that down and make it easier for other people to have a look at it and understand what I'm actually trying to do, keep it nice and tidy, and be more real world relevant, because obviously when you're in the throes of it, I understand the code, but anybody looking at it doesn't. So Chan was able to help me with the best practice side of it, things like version control, and the workflow, which was amazing. So I'm very happy to say that the project is now over the line and in the next phase. So, and that wouldn't have been done without Chan. So thank you very much, and thanks to everybody for all the support.
Thank you very much. We have, I feel like I'm going to pronounce this wrong.
I'm here, Qiangrui.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Qiangrui, and my mentor is Peter Hill. My background is neuroscience. So here I'm trying to do some image analysis work here because I have very little coding experience before this program. So I spent the first 3 weeks to study basic functions in SciPy, NumPy, and also version control. During this period, my mentor gave me a lot of very nice lessons to follow. So, and they are very helpful. And after that, he also helped me set up 3Ms. So I tried to analyze average changes of different frames. And then I traces 2,000 images and to find the most brightest points, which means there are proteins expressed in the zebrafish, and traces their differences for every regions. And we can notice in these images, like this kind of sparks means their action potentials occur because we use some voltage indicators. We can change the electrical signal into fluorescent signal. So I'm very happy with these results, and I can see very obvious action potentials from 2,000 images. And my mentor is a very knowledgeable and patient teacher. In every week, we have a mentor meeting, and he will teach me write code hand by hand. So I'm very happy with it. So thank you, and thank you all the well-organized program.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Sadiq. Could you unmute yourself to see whether your mic is working? Oh, we don't have Sadiq. Okay. We can move on to CU for now. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Audible?
Oh, I think he's here.
Aha. Okay. I'll go back to Sadiq. Is that you, Sadiq? Okay.
Can I go ahead? Hello.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Don't worry about the timer. There we go. Are you ready? I think maybe Sadiq's having okay. We can go back to Sadiq. See, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is. I'm sorry. Do you want to reset it? Okay, cool. So my name is Wang Ziyi. I'm a PhD student from Durham University studying cognitive neuroscience, and my mentor is Dr. Paul McCarthy from Oxford University. So I'm happy to reflect something on the SSI mentorship we just finished, where we actually mainly focus on using Python and CirclePy to create a visual search experiment. Just show in the center, at the center. So this kind of experiments usually have so many trials, and the stimuli actually change trial by trial. So for me, the primary objective was not just about learning how to code, but instead is actually centered around designing a reliable experiment structure with a keen focus on online and offline randomization with restrictions. So after 10 meetings, I'm happy to say we successfully developed a working version of this experiment using CirclePy, combining some general Python code, such as packages like NumPy and some other specific packages. Apart from, well, I must say it was a joint effort. Like my mentor played a really important role in this experiment. Apart from learning how to code, interestingly, in our last meeting, we actually discussed deeply into Python environment. For example, how to use Anaconda or Miniconda to streamline our coding process. And another important learning from my mentor was the use of predefined functions, as I will reuse some code for other experiments. So it would be so much easier to save some codes as functions. It's like a handy self-made toolkit and a ready-to-use piece of code, so which will significantly boost my reproducibility. So yeah, so overall, really thank you for the organizers, and especially thanks to my mentor.
Thank you very much, Ziyi. I'm gonna go to Sadiq. Can you mute yourself and let me know if it's working? Okay. Doesn't seem like it is.
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think my network is having lots of fluctuations.
That's okay.
So yeah, Sadiq, and completed my postgrad in applied psychology from India, and I've also experience of working as a research assistant. So initially, because it's not the part of our curriculum, so we don't know how to do the research analysis part. I mean, I meant to say with the help of a programming language like Python programming. So initially, I didn't have any idea, but my mentor was super helpful. She literally helped me to get to get me the familiar with the software, to get me familiar with the work environment. So my initial goal was to learn the Python as well as R, but due to the time constraint, we only decided to focus on R. So we have, she introduced me to the basics of the R programming and how we can draw the map with the help of R maps and some of the open source data. She has helped me, and I've also learned how to store my codes on the GitHub. She was really helpful during this entire camp, and I know how I can present my work on the GitHub. Or we were working on developing Shiny app, and she has also introduced me to the Posit Cloud. And I hope after completing this camp, I can say that I can invest my the more work into the programming, and I can work upon it. So I'm very confident after this. So if I'll be able to get more exposure with the help of resources, which she already shared with me, then I can be near to perfect in my work. So yeah, it has given me a lot of confidence. And my ultimate goal is to deploy a Shiny app with the open source data. And I'm also going to write a blog about this camp, what I have gone through, what I have learned, and what are my learning, and what were my challenges. And in the end, the major goal is to do PhD, and I want to do the behavioral analysis with the help of R or maybe Python. And yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sadiq. We've got next Ignatius. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Perfect.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. As you can see, I'm still at the train station traveling, so I hope you can hear me okay. So I have a bit of background with research, and can you still hear me? Hello, can you still hear me?
We can hear
you. Good. So I have a bit of background, but the problem I have is that sometimes I find it difficult to properly lay out my research plans. And then my mentor, Gaurav, a very, very helpful guy, helped me because when I came into here, what I was thinking is that it would be nice to have a sounding board, somebody I can share my ideas with, and then see what it feels. I work in a team that has people from different backgrounds, some are technical, some are not. So I needed to be able to communicate what I'm doing to them effectively so that they can roll with that or understand what they need from what we're doing. So Gaurav helped me a lot by basically listening and supported me with ideas and suggested a number of tools, tried a lot of project planning and management tools along the line. Ended up with things like mind map. Eventually, we explored other things like Mermaid and Obsidian and so on and so forth. And then we talked about things beyond the project, like how to also do grant writing and attract funds for projects. So overall, I feel a lot more confident now, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. And I'd like to keep in touch with some people here for future work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ignatius. Next, we have our last lightning talk for today is Sarapati. Can you unmute yourself, please?
I'm unmuted.
Perfect. Ready?
Yes. My name is Sarah. I don't know why. There we go. And there should be one more. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So my name is Sarah, and I want to first start off by thanking the program for giving me an opportunity to join. It's been really helpful, especially because this was the beginning of my coding career. Back in September is when I started. So, trying to learn the basics and really understanding good practices was one of the major takeaways that I was hoping to get out of this course as well, and really understanding how to process large big data sets. So the second thank you I want to give is to Renato, who was my mentor, and he was immensely helpful. And he really provided me with a lot of advice, not only on good software techniques and good coding practices, but also just in general life advice about PhDs and careers. So my original objective was to develop an understanding on how to stringently process large data sets to generate reliable, rigorous, and reproducible results, because that's one of the things that I'm working on is largely doing single cell transcriptomics, spatial transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics, and then integrating the different large omic data sets together. So I wanted to make sure that the quality of the data that I was starting with was very rigorously filtered in order to make sure that the results that I had were very reliable. But amongst kind of working through that goal, we talked a lot about open source coding and open science, along with good coding practices. So how to store your code, how to annotate it, using GitHub. And then one of the major challenges that I've run into is, because I'm working with such large data sets and doing such high computational load, is I really needed to utilize high performing computing. So he taught me how to use the HPC, which I had been really struggling with. So that's been really helpful in the workflows that I will be using now and then in the future. And then also just providing me with other online resources to support the different analysis techniques that I want to learn, and then doing the troubleshooting. And so overall, I came away feeling a lot more confident in the computer science space, and being able to navigate potential careers after finishing the PhD. And a big shout out to our cats, which are in the little corner there. They made appearances a couple times during our chat. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So that's it. A big round of applause for all of our presenters. Thank you very much. Well done for preparing the presentations and for obviously taking the time to present today. So I'm going to open it up briefly to questions, just in case there are any. If you want to share emails, I've seen that there's a few things happening in the chat. And if not, we'll draw the session to a close in a second.
Can I go ahead?
Of course.
So my question is, do we have the advanced version of this camp, like where we can invest more time and like we can learn it in a more better way?
Could you please repeat the question? I missed it a little bit at the beginning.
So I'm asking, do we have advanced camp for this same program? Like, I mean, for more days, like where I can get more time to explore other programming language as well. So the advanced version of this course, sorry, this camp, do we have it?
So there is this resource support camp is almost finishes on Friday. And we did run a couple of introductory workshops on R and Python. There's the rest of the ones happening this week are on fair data principles. If you'd like to join that, I think we still have a few places available. And the other ones are in other languages, Spanish and Spanish. I think it's the only one that's the only two that are left. But we do run resource support camps yearly. So there will be more coming next year, and the format will likely change a little bit, and we'll focus on running introductory courses for other languages as well. But yeah, we run these every year, basically. We used to run them every 2 years, but things changed. Lucy?
I just wanted to add to that the workshops that have already passed will go up, the recordings will go up on YouTube. So actually you can do them in your own time as well.
Yes, that's true. Okay. So I would like everyone to, if you want, to allow your video on so that we can take a group photo as a memory for graduation. Don't feel pressured to do this, but I thought it would be a nice thing to have for the memory. So I'll wait a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Are we all set? Yeah, ready? Okay, here we go. One, and then I'll take another one for good luck. Feel free to do whatever you want. Well done. Thank you so much, everyone. And now I just want to say congratulations, everyone. Your effort throughout the last 10 weeks trying to fit everything in. I know it wasn't easy, but you got here and you did it. I hope you enjoyed your journey throughout the mentorship program. And I hope you keep getting involved with the stuff that the SSI does. We are here to help in other ways, not just through the mentorship, but we also run workshops. We run an annual collaborations workshop where we do lots of discussions and networking. And we also do a lot of training, which is separate to the resource support camps. And all that is left to say is that I also want to thank the mentors. I think it's great that you put in all of the time with your mentees. I think it's been really successful, and I hope you also got something out of it. And the last thing is your certificates will arrive in your email address, and probably between today and tomorrow. Just bear with us while we email everyone. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. And unless there's anything else, we can all take 10 minutes back of our time.
Thank you, Selena, for all your hard work as well. You've put in hours and hours and hours. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's always good to run these things. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.